Hey there, movie fans. Welcome to the Blues of March 2016. As always, I'm going to start this video with a shout out, and this time it goes to Lausberg 711. Nice guy, he has an excellent collection, great taste in movies, and some very nice update videos. And if you don't believe me, click on the link below and you'll find out yourself. Go check him out, Lausberg 711. Okay, let me show you the DVDs first, as I usually do. And these are all very cheap DVDs. Some of them were €1 each, so couldn't really pass them up. First one is Jade Warrior, which looks promising. I haven't seen it yet, but I understand this is a Finnish and Chinese co-production. We'll see. It might be good, so we'll see about that. Jade Warrior. Let me know, if you've seen this movie. Let me know what you think of it. Dorothy, another one I haven't seen yet. This is a British film, a British horror film, with Carice van Houten, Dutch actress. You know her from Game of Thrones, and nowadays she's known as Guy Pearce's girlfriend, pregnant girlfriend, I might say. I was actually surprised to find this one for €1, and it was completely sealed, by the way. I found this at a flea market. A Story of Children and Film, which is the follow-up to a fantastic documentary series called The Story of Film, also directed by Mark Cousins. If you want to know more about cinema and also about foreign cinema, The Story of Film is truly a series you have to check out. And I haven't seen this one yet either. I have to admit, but I've absolutely loved the television series, so I'm sure I'm gonna love this one as well. This focuses more on children in films, as the title says. But yeah, I was very surprised to find this for €1, sealed, on in the flea market. The Shadow Riders. Well, you might have guessed it. I haven't seen this one yet either. But hey, I love my westerns, and it has two really good actors in it, Tom Selleck and Sam Elliott. I don't think you can go wrong with these guys. And it was directed by Andrew V. McLaughlin, who is really he was an expert in westerns. He worked with John Wayne several times, including McClintock. He also did The Last Hard Men, The Way West, some episodes of Gunsmoke. He's a Western expert, absolutely. And you're not going to believe this, but I've never seen this one either. Roman Holiday. I know it's a classic. I know it's one of those films you have to see, but never actually had the chance to see it. To be honest. I don't know what happened. I don't know how that is even possible, but I will check it out as soon as I can. This is, of course, one of the most popular romantic classic films ever made, with Gregory Peck and Audrey Hepburn. Yeah, nice DVD. Very cheap as well. And the last DVD is Denny the Dog, aka Unleashed, which I got in a trade. And this is a very nice Hong Kong release, I believe this is. Let me show you. This is a dishy pack. There's Jet Li. Morgan Freeman, Bob Hoskins over there. And here is the disc with a picture there of Jet Li fighting another guy over here. So a very nice release. I haven't seen the movie in a while. There you go. And now on to the Blu-rays, and the first one is the complete fifth season of Game of Thrones. Very nice release, this one. Look at that. The Nice slipcover there with the dragon and Peter Dinklage and on the foreground. Yeah, nice release. And of course, I'm a big fan of Game of Thrones. This one has some great moments in it. It's going to be a little spoiler, so if you haven't seen it, cover your ears. But one of my favorite moments is, of course, the end of episode 8 with the zombies attacking, those people. That was just fantastic. I've been waiting for a good action scene in Game of Thrones for a while, because most of the time it's just talking. Nothing really happens, but most of the time it's talking. And then at the end of episode 8, and it just all hell breaks loose. I thought it was a phenomenal moment. And there was also a great moment in the final episode with Cersei Lannister, who is of course a bitch. But when she did the walk of shame, where she had to walk through the streets of King's Landing, completely naked, and people are shouting at her and throwing things at her, you actually felt sorry for her. I thought it was a very powerful scene, and if you've seen the trailer of season 6, you know that she's getting bloody revenge. I mean, she said something like, I choose violence, so, that's going to be some hardcore shit right there. Oh, no, that's me. And I got this from Amazon UK, by the way, which also includes the exclusive bonus disc with some very good special features on there. The Massacre at Hardhome, that was the one that I'm talking about. That was at the end of episode 8. But excellent series, an excellent season. Cannot wait for the next one. The next 3 titles are Blu-rays that I got from Amazon.fr, the French Amazon. They had this buy 2 get 1 for free kind of a deal. So I got Lord Jim, which I had my eye on this set for a while. But this is a wonderful film, by the way, with Peter O'Toole, James Mason, Kurt Jurgens, and Eli Wallach, and a wonderful set as well. It contains 2 versions of the film. One is 136 minutes, the other one is a little longer, 142 minutes. Let me show you what the inside looks like. This is the digipack with the 2 discs inside, and here we have a book, which is in French, but there's some very nice pictures inside, like these lobby cards, for example. And this movie was shot in Cambodia, and Peter O'Toole said that it was a nightmare to shoot there. In the Cambodian jungle, that was full of insects and bugs and all that. And also the local people weren't really friendly. They were not happy with these, Western people to shoot their movie there. And there was also some a political situation going on at the time. I believe that the American and British embassies were attacked by mobs, and according to O'Toole, some members of these mobs were extras who worked on this film. But this is a wonderful release, and the transfer looks fantastic as well. So I'm very happy to have this. Lord Jim is the second French Blu-ray that I got. Also had my eye on this for some time. The Boston Strangler with Tony Curtis, Henry Fonda, George Kennedy, who recently passed away. This is a terrific film. Tony Curtis, I mean, he is phenomenal as the Boston Strangler. This is really his film, even though it takes about an hour before he appears on the screen, but he makes such an impression in this film. And directed by Richard Fleischer. I actually talked about him in my previous video, which is Unsung Heroes of Cinema. I haven't seen it one, please go check it out. But he directed The Narrow Margin and some other great films as well. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, The Vikings, also with Tony Curtis. 10 Wellington Plates, which I pre-ordered on Blu-ray, by the way. Sword and Green, Mr. Majestic. What else did he do? I believe he did one of the Amityville horror films, Part 3, I believe it was. And he also did Conan the Destroyer and Red Sonja. So they're not all great films that he did, but I like Conan the Destroyer and Red Sonja. But he was a great director, absolutely, and he did a phenomenal job on this film. The split screen moments and all that, absolutely phenomenal. It has some great actors as well, including a interview with William Friedkin. And Friedkin, by the way, the producers of this film wanted Friedkin to direct this film, but the studios thought that he was too young and too inexperienced. But he did not regret. Well, he did want to do it, but he did admit that Fleischer did a great job on this film. Yeah, great film, The Boston Strangler. And the last French Blu-ray that I got is Matinee. It has a different title on there, Panic on Florida Beach. A terrific film by Joe Dante, kind of a throwback to the 1950s, horror films, science fiction films. John Goodman plays a film producer, and his character, excuse me, his character is very much inspired by William McCastle, who was this, he was a producer and director. He was very good at promotional gimmicks, and he directed films like The Tingler, House on the Haunted Hill with Vincent Price, 13 Ghosts, the original version, and many other horror films as well. But this is a fine film by Joe Dante, the man who did Inner Space and Gremlins. He's really one of my favorites. I've always loved Dante's films. The Producers. This is one of my all-time favorite comedies. It still makes me laugh to this day. Zero Mostel, Gene Wilder, written and directed by Mel Brooks. I still think this is Mel Brooks' best film, in my opinion. Both these guys are just fantastic. The scene where Mostel takes away Gene Wilder's handkerchief, that's always cracks me up. When he's going absolutely insane. I want my handkerchief back. I just fucking love that. That's always cracks me up, that scene, and the whole movie just cracks me up. And of course, the Springtime for Hitler song, it's just fantastic. Comedies, I think that is the most difficult genre there is. And nowadays there aren't comedies that make me laugh. If I want to have a good laugh, a good comedy to watch and have a good laugh, I always go back to the classic ones, like The Producers and the Chaplin films and the Marx Brothers. The Marx Brothers still makes me laugh, by the way. But nowadays you don't really have funny movies anymore. If you look at the actors in comedies, they are not funny at all. Adam Sandler is one of them. Kevin James, Jesus, Kevin fucking James. And Will Ferrell, I'm sorry, but I know that many people find him funny, but and good for you if you do, but I actually find him more annoying than funny, to be honest. So there aren't many comedies nowadays that makes me laugh. Although Deadpool made me laugh. but that's not really a comedy, is it? A superhero comedy, perhaps. And I also recently saw the trailer of the new Ghostbusters movie. I mean, Jesus, if that is the humor of the entire film, then I would not bother watching the entire film. But I think a really good comedy is very rare. And like I said, if I want to watch a good comedy, I always go back to the classic ones, like The Producers. Bridge of Spy. This was a wonderful film, by the way, by Steven Spielberg. I actually missed this at the cinema, but yeah, you cannot go wrong with Spielberg, right? And this is a collaboration between Spielberg, Tom Hanks, and the Coen brothers. The Coen brothers wrote or co-wrote the screenplay of this film, and there are some little Coen brothers moments here and there. Like, for example, when Tom Hanks is sitting at a hallway, he's waiting for somebody, and you have these guys on bicycles riding past him in the hallway. I mean, I thought that was for some reason I thought that was a typical Coen brothers moment. But yeah, terrific film. Mark Rylance, he's fantastic. I'm glad that he won the Oscar. I was actually convinced that Sylvester Stallone was going to win, and he did deserve to win. By the way, Stallone. It would have been nice if he did, but now that Mark Rylance has took the award away from Stallone, it's not that big of a problem at all. I think he deserved it as well. I think his performance in this film is amazing, absolutely. But yeah, wonderful film, Bridge of Spies. Next is Doc, one of the many films about Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday. Only this film focused more on Doc Holliday, terrifically played by Stacy Keach. And like I said, there are many films about these two legends, but I think this is one of the better ones out there. And Faye Dunaway, who plays Holliday's love interest. And it was actually sad of what she's going through nowadays. I mean, she have to accept roles in cheap, shitty movies to make a living. And she was back in the day. Back in the 60s and 70s, she did one brilliant film after the other. Bonnie and Clyde, Chinatown, Network. But the last movie she has made that I know was this very low budget zombie movie, and that doesn't seem right. Faye Dunaway in a cheap ass zombie movie, that just doesn't seem right. She deserved better than that. So that's kind of sad of what happened to her. But yeah, this is a great film, Doc. Go check it out if you haven't seen it yet. Next is the Dutch steelbook of Spectre. Good movie, but not as good as Casino Royale and Skyfall. There were some problems that I had with it. The main problem is the villain, played by Christoph Waltz, and this is going to be a spoiler, by the way. But Christoph Waltz plays Blofeld, and at the beginning there were some rumors that he is Blofeld, but they were denying it. But if you know your Bond classics, you know that Blofeld is the leader of Spectre. And also in this film, when you saw that cat, that white Persian cat, that was just the confirmation that he is Blofeld, even before he reveals himself as Blofeld. But anyway, the reason why I don't like this character so much is pretty much the reason why he hates Bond, which is because his father gave James Bond more attention than to him when they were kids. And I thought, is that it? Is that the reason why he hates Bond so much? Is that the reason why he started this evil empire and kill everybody? And I thought that was such a lousy and weak excuse from the writers to make him, to make Blofeld this way. I mean, what if Blofeld had a wife, and she get accidentally killed, and he held James Bond responsible for that. That would have been a much better motivation for him to go after Bond, right? So no, Christoph Waltz is not the best Blofeld. If you ask me, the best one is Telly Savalas in On Her Majesty's Secret Service. But of course, there are some things that I do like about this film, like for example, the secret meeting with Blofeld and his people in this dark chamber. I thought that was terrific. The fight scene on the train was great between Bond and the Jinx, or Mr. Jinx, I believe the name is. The opening sequence, of course, which is phenomenal, in Mexico City, which looks like it was shot in one take, but it isn't really shot in one take. There are several takes. I actually counted 4 takes, if I'm correct. But it was very well done. The cinematography by Hoyte van Hoytema looks stunning. I like the Bond girls in this film, even though the Monica Lewinsky, did I say Lewinsky? Monica Bellucci, excuse me. Even I thought she was too short in this film. She was only in this movie for 5 minutes. She deserved to be more in this film. A more screen time. But, it would be a shame if this is Daniel Craig's final film as Bond, because he deserved a better film, to be honest. There are rumors that this is his final film. I don't hope so. I hope he's going to do another one. But we'll wait to see. Next is the Steelbook of Audition, and as you can see, it is still sealed. I just received it, so I haven't had the time to open it up. But I was actually hesitating between the Steelbook and the regular edition, because I'm not really fond of the artwork, to be honest. But I went ahead and took the Steelbook instead. I thought I better get it before I regret it, so great film, by the way, by Takashi Miike. And, whether you like his films or not, there's no denying that his films are very unpredictable. You just don't know what to expect when you sit down and watch one of his films. You think it ends up this way, but it goes completely the other direction. And they're full of these, WTF moments, you know what I mean? Hate him or love him, there's no denying on that. I still need to get this one, by the way, The Happiness of the Katakuris. I've never seen that one before. But nice release from Arrow. And speaking of Arrow, I also got the Dead Walk Twice box set. 2 films by Luciano Ercoli, limited to 3,000. And these are, 2 fun giallos. The first one is Dead Walks on High Heels. It was pretty good. And the other one is Dead Walks at Midnight, which I think is a much better film, if you ask me. Both these films stars Nieves Navarro, who is Ercoli's wife. They married when around the time when these films came out, and they stayed married until his death in early 2015. Here's a look at the booklet. I like this artwork, by the way. Oh, wait a minute. What's so nice about Dead Walks at Midnight is that the story was created by none other than Sergio Corbucci, who is the director of westerns such as Django, The Great Silence, The Hellbenders, Companeros, and many, many others, of course. The great Sergio Corbucci himself. This is a very hardcore scene with the, from the second movie, Dead Walks at Midnight, with the killer that has this glove with spikes on. A lot of great essays and stuff and all that. And pictures, of course. And here is yet again another fantastic release from Arrow. The American Horror Project Volume 1, with 3 films I have never seen before, and it would have stayed that way if it wasn't for Arrow. But wow, this is such a wonderful release. Definitely, one of the contenders of best Blu-ray releases of the year, if you ask me. Let me show you what it has inside. Let me show you the movies. The first one is Malatesta's Carnival of Blood, which was alright. It's my least favorite one of the 3, and also the strangest one of the 3. But I thought it was alright. A bit boring, to be honest, but alright. The Witch Who Came from the Sea, which I thought was pretty good. Millie Perkins was phenomenal in this film. She plays Anne Frank in the Diary of Anne Frank. But I thought it was fantastic in this film. Not exactly a horror film. It's more like a psychological drama. But there are some disturbing scenes in it. And this was also part of the video nasties back in the day. And this one is really my favorite one. I was very surprised with this one. The Premonition. Like The Witch Who Came from the Sea, not really a horror film, but it does have some, elements in it that you usually see in horror films. But yeah, I thought it was a terrific film. Also with Richard Lynch there. There's the alternate artwork. And of course it has the booklet in there as well. Yeah, 3 very obscure little scene horror films that definitely deserve more attention, if you ask me. And it's such a great idea from Arrow to do this. And I am very much looking forward to Volume 2. I'm dying to find out what the next 3 films are going to be. So yeah, great, absolutely great. And that was it for this March update. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.